Hi guys, welcome to a tutorial video for today. Today we're going to be doing something a bit different. We're looking at how to subdivide lands and come up with layouts, majorly residential layouts. So basically the thing we did in the first two videos, teaching you how to make use of the draw tools and edit tools, and how to set your page. You probably have to set your page before you do anything, and just so you know, I already set my page before I did this on the screen, like you can see. And basically you can see a rectangle on the screen, which is something I believe if you've watched our previous video you should be able to come up with this rectangle. Okay, fine. The rectangle here is going to serve as our hypothetical site for today. And first thing we're going to do is to create layers. And I'm going to create layers for every property we want to have in our layout. So these lines for the rectangle will serve as the boundary, while we're going to have a layer for our plots and roads, because basically in every layout you have plots, you have roads, you have facilities, you have services, and you have the boundary. So these things are all going to have a separate layer in order to ease your work and make your work easier. So let me walk you through on how to create layers. You come here, layer properties on the screen, click on it. Right here, the orange tool here indicates create a new layer, as you can see, and you click on it here. And now you can edit it to whatever name you want to name your layer. So I'm going to call this boundary. Okay, enter. Create another layer for my root. I'll create another layer for my facilities. Create another layer for my plots. Okay. So usually in urban design and urban planning they have color codes for this thing, but since it's just a tutorial and just an introduction to it, as we move on we'll do more comprehensive layout designs, and basically we have to follow the standards. So for today I'm going to color my boundary red, my roads I think I'll use black. Okay, facilities they usually vary, but since I'm not going to be very specific, I just allocate them in special places. I'll just use white, and since they're usually in colors. So plots, since it's just my plots of land, I'll use white too. Okay, fine. Okay, so now I can close this. And mind you, to select a particular layer, you click on it and tick this. Now that layer is active. Okay, so since I want to work on my boundary now, I click on it, it's active, and I could select the layer tool from here. Save stress. Okay, fine. Now you know how to create layers. Okay, now I'm just going to change this using my quick properties. It's on layer 0 as you can see here, so I click on it here and I click on boundary, and you see it changes to red. Okay, fine. So basically for this layout we're going to have plots with dimension 18 by 36 for our plots of land. So each plot, every plot that will be inside this layout will be 18 by 36 meters. And mind you, we're working with meters, so everything we do here is in meters. And usually, since it's an hypothetical site, we're going to have an hypothetical existing road. In most cases, most sites in survey plans usually have an existing road, which is expected to provide access into the proposed site. So for this, I would draw a line. But before I do that, I'll have to change my boundary to a road. So now I'm draw a road. I click road. Now it's active. Line. Let's draw a straight line. Let's have our existing road come here. just a few distance away from the site. We're going to use the offset tool. O offset, specify offset distance as indicated there. So I want my existing road to be about let's say 24 meters in width. Okay, you can see it's quite small, but it's actually big because it's to scale. Okay, so I have my existing road. Now I want to have a distributor road that would go in and come out. So I would have something like this line. Still working on my roads layer. Have this come this way, come this way. Yeah. Okay. So now I can decide to create an offset. Before I do that, I'm going to join this. That makes my work easier. Then offset to, let's make it of 18 because usually the roads that link to each other are usually not the same thing. There's something called hierarchy of roads. So maybe in our next videos we'll be explaining in details to you the hierarchy of roads and the rest of it. So moving on, 18 meters in width for this road. This is a different one. Notice it's slightly wider. This is slightly wider than this, and the next one that will go into this and provide access to various plots of land within the estate or within the residential layout will be a bit smaller in terms of width to this. As we go on in the video, you would understand what I'm saying. So now you can trim this because you need to have access here. The road has gone into the land. That way, there's a road here, there's a road here, there's an access. So that means this road that goes in provides access to this residential area. Okay, fine. We need to trim this too. Okay. Now this still doesn't look like a road, shade, because usually don't have roads with sharp edges like this. So usually curve. So I'm going to use my fillet tool. I click on fillet. I right click, radius. Say I'm working with 18. I can have a radius of 9. Usually the radius you use is usually half of the width of your road. So this is 18 meters in width. Have a radius of 9 meters. Okay. So I'm just going to click on the first object as indicated by the command on the screen. This is the second object. You see, and this is how that curve comes in. Exactly. Now it's looking more like a road. So I'm going to just do the same thing to the remaining roads. In this too. Okay. That way you can have your bend. You have one here, one here. I think here too. And here. Yeah, fine. You might not be able to see it clearly like this, but it actually is there. So since that is done, now we're going to move into subdividing. Mind you, I said we're having plots of land with 18 by 36. So I'm just going to go ahead and explode this. And this too. Okay, fine. So the idea is you're going to have plots on two sides, suggesting that you have 18, another 18, then a road, then 18, 18, a road. So that way, a typical example of what I'm trying to say is this. I could decide to offset 18, another 18, and I want a smaller road this time. Let's say, sorry, I need to have like another 18 again. But better still, I have 72 this time. Let's make you use of 72. I think that way you understand more. Let's offset 72. I'll come back to that. Then after every 72 you have a road. of 12 meters. Yeah, just like this. So now, if I divide the 72 into 2, I'm going to have 36. I offset 36. As you can see, this is 36. This is 36. So what this means is, I have 36 on both sides, so I could just start to draw a line here and offset 18. This means this is a plot of land right here, and this is another plot of land. Now notice that this plot of land receives its access from this road here, while the other receives is from this. You understand? That is typical real life scenario, and which is what subdivision is basically all about. Every plot of land within the residential layout must have an access or a road giving it access. That is the whole idea. And usually it is not encouraged to have a plot of land, just one, in between two roads. So usually we have one plot road, not a plot, road, and a road here. That is not accepted. So we have two plots and a road. The same thing applies here. So basically that is what will be our guideline throughout the process of subdividing this land. So I'd advise you pay attention while we do this. Okay, fine. So now I'm just going to go ahead and divide this into 2. Now you have to be creative when you're subdividing. So I know practice. With practice, you'll be able to make use of most of the tools and come up with beautiful layout design. So now I just created a road, basically. And now I want to frame it so you can see what I'm talking about. A road of 12 meters precisely. Okay. Yeah. Now you see this. This should look familiar to certain people if you're familiar with urban design. But if not, oh well. Just continue to follow through. So now I'm going to make this a bit faster. So I'm going to offset again. Now mind you, I've been working with the roads layer, which is not supposed to be for the plot. So I'm going to have to change this to plots. Layer, plots, exactly. This as well. And you can save yourself and use the match property. That way you can match the property of a particular object with another, just like this. And it's done. Okay, fine. So to make my offsets faster, there's something I call multiple offsets. I'll try to offset this at 18 meters away from the other one and have multiple like this. You see, now it's more or less faster. So this is a bit bigger than this other land, so I could decide to just use this for a facility. Yeah, I want to leave it blank for the field into forest facility. So, and you don't have to have horizontal blocks. This is a block right now with plots in it. So I decided to offset 72 here. And offset my road 12. Okay, now I'm going to trim this. Okay, road 2, how it becomes clearer to you guys. Okay, now you notice how I'm trying to create intersections at T-junctions. Now this is a T-junction. Let me make this more visible to you guys. I want to feel it so you can understand me better. I think this is a bit much better. Yeah. So it's looking good right now. So I decided to offset 18. And I'm going to extend it to the edges. So I have to do that again. And change this to plots. And let me change it to plots so I'll show what I'm working with. So I'm going to offset 18 meters away. multiple times 2, like this. Yeah, and I'm going to divide this into 2, offset 36. I'm going to match the property since it's a plot from this with this. I'm going to extend this here. So now we have a subdivided piece of land. Each of these boxes are plots with access to each and every one of them. So I could have my 72 again, have my root, and 72, my root, and 72, and my root again. I'll extend them, trim them, just like that, like that. Use the fillet. I get you like here what I'm saying. So each of these things are blocks. It all amounts to your amount of creativity. I could decide to have one in between. Yeah, like this. I have 72. Another block. I have 12. I have another 12 here. Then now I'll trim it. And this like this. Trim this off. This off. This off. Okay. Now you get your idea. I'm going to just match properties with this since it's a road. You don't get confused. Trim, trim, trim. Okay, now fill it. Just so it gives us a more interesting view. Just like this. Now, I think this should be making sense to a lot of you guys. For those of you who are in the urban planning, because you must have come across with some things like this. I suggest you get inspiration from Google Earth. You could take Dubai as a case study and look at aerial photographs, and you come across things like this. So right now I could decide to have my 36 for each of them. Offset 36. Do the same thing here, 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 here. Because I want to put my plots into them now. I'm extending them out, extending each and every line so that it fits in. Yeah, and since this is a facility, I'm just gonna hatch it solid, click in there. That's a facility. So now I could do my offset, my multiple offsets now. Offsets 18. Extend. Now, just to be clear, let's confirm one of these plots to be 18 by 36, just like I stated. So DI is the shortcut for distance measurement. Click the first point. So this point, you see on the screen 36. Now let's check this. 18. So we're on 9. So each of these rectangles are 18 by 36. So offset 18 again. Now multiple times. Okay, now I'm gonna have to trim this. That's probably going to serve as a facility too. And I'm just going to match properties of this plot with this. Yeah, that way it gives you more understanding. Offset, you could change your way of offsetting too if you wanna. 18 multiple. If you decide to stop somewhere in the middle, come here again, repeat the same tool. and have multiple again. That way I have my facility somewhere in the middle. Now I decide to extend just like this. So hatch, hatch, and hatch. And match the properties of this with this and with this. Looking good, okay? So now we have the same thing here. Offset 18, extend this. So we don't have to be repeating the same thing. Offsets 18, multiple offsets. Yeah. So match properties of this with this. Good. Forgot this. Yeah. Okay. So you notice that each of these blocks, if we have a distance of 18 here, of 36, sorry, and you have 18 here, this suggests that every block is 72 meters because we have 36 on one hand and 36 on the other. So that's going to serve as a guide for you in your course of subdividing. Due to the length of our video, we might not be able to continue with this for today, but in a subsequent video we'll be looking at more detailed aspect, because this is just basically an introduction to layout. So I would suggest you go ahead and practice this and let us know whatever you think and whatever you came across in your course of practicing. You could leave a comment for us in the comment section, and trust me, in our next video we'll get back to you on it. And please don't forget to subscribe to our video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.